Welcome back to Creating Stuff with Jim. I'm Jim. It's time to create something. In this episode, this is the second episode of my concrete slab series. So if you missed the first episode, I'll put a link in the description so you can go back and see that. But in the last episode, I moved all my stuff out, moved the carport, did some plumbing repair. Now that we got that done, I get to move on to doing some grading work and form up to get ready to pour the concrete. So tell you what, let's get into it. So if you didn't see my stump grinding video, either you haven't seen it because I haven't published it yet, or you haven't seen it yet. That right there is where that monster stump used to be. It's gone. I got larger plans over there that's going to be happening next year, but let's focus on what we got going on it right now. So now they got all my roots out of the way, carport's out of the way, my water line is fixed, and I just did a brief grading on it. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional I don't do professional dirt work. I'm just fumbling along as I go. So but now I have this, and I don't know, that's a laser level and a grade stick. And I don't know if I have a tool addiction or a Facebook Marketplace addiction. So although I have a lot of tools, that I don't use professionally. But what it really comes down to is when you buy them used and you get them for half, if not less than half, to me it's kind of hard not to buy a tool that you'll use even a few times. So anyways, but with that being said, with the laser level and the grade stick, let me turn the camera around. And these paint marks are showing the rough outline of where the slab is going to be. Very rough. It's going to be about 20 feet wide by 24 feet long. I've already shot the grade, and I got an idea about where the pad is going to be and how much slope I'm going to have. So so what it is I'm going to end up sloping it probably a good probably close to 2 inches from the side of the building all the way out to here. I just, when I do get water inside, even though it's going to be covered, I would kind of like some good drainage in there. So if I hose the slab off or anything like that, water runs right out. Or if there's a leak, the water just doesn't pool in there. So like I said, I'm going to be sloping a good 1.5 inches to 2 inches or something like that. And looking at the grade right now over here in this area, I'm going to probably go hook the backhoe back up, and I got to dig out back down there because that's way too high. I got to drop that, and plus I need to pull all that material away from the side of the house. Over there is pretty close. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you with all my fumbling and bumblings with setting the grade, but this is what I'm working on. So, but when I got something to show you, I'll bring you back. So it'll probably just be a few seconds for you, but it's probably going to be a couple of days to a week for me. Alright, well, here is the current progress. I've been working on my slab, forming up my slab all day, and here is my current progress. Well, as you can see, I got 3 sides of it formed up. It's all level, square, and it's got the proper slope, because this is that run right there is 24 feet long, and I dropped 6 inches over that 24 feet. So that's a 1/4 inch a foot, so that's about a 2% slope. So I just want that slope so any water that gets on it is going to run right off, even though it's going to be covered. So I just want to have it set up as if it was sitting outside with nothing above it. So I got my 2% slope on it, and now the next step I have to do is I have to get all this organic material out, which I still got some roots lying around. And this side of the slab, as you can see, is quite a bit low. So what the plan was is I was planning on leaving my tractor implements on the back side of this carport. So I was going to do crush and run behind this, so the crush and run will come even with the concrete. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use crush and run to level this out a little bit, because if you have that gap right there, I mean, you're going to take more concrete than what you need, and it'll flow out underneath it. So I'm going to fill it in with crush and run. I'm actually going to go ahead and whatever I have left over, I'm going to put behind it. But I plan to have crush and run on that side of the slab and this side up even with it. So, but it's looking good. So as you can see, I just got to get organic material out and go through and level everything out. So, but well, anyways, no point in me yakking anymore. So I said let's get back to work. Sometimes it's handy to have your own dump truck. now, this doesn't look too bad, if I do say so myself. So I got all the highs and lows leveled out, looking pretty good. I still got I'm still gonna have to put the crush and run along the two sides, but that's not important. So not right now anyways. So like I say, all this leveled out, so all I have left to do is to close in the form on that side and put all my rebar in here, and then I'm gonna be ready to pour. So well, unfortunately, this is all the time I have for it today. So I gotta work the next couple days. So we're gonna have to pick this back up in a couple days and keep on going. All right, I am back working on the concrete slab for my carport, and I have to apologize, I'm kind of dragging tail this morning because I just got done working a couple days straight at my job, and I'm just dragging tail this morning. So but I'm back out working on the slab. I got to work a little bit this morning, so I'll show you where I'm at, and everything's still looking good. But yep, I'll just go ahead and show you what I got. This morning I went ahead and I put the final piece of the form in. So the form is completely closed in. Reset my laser level. All the level and the slope still looks good on it. Nothing settled. Everything still looks really good. I'm real happy with it. So now I gotta run down to the hardware store, get some rebar so I can put some well, the next thing I got to do is I need to go down to the hardware store and get some rebar. I got to put some reinforcement to this concrete, and that's the next thing we got to do. Getting really close to pouring this. As of right now, I'm probably less than a week away from getting it poured. I'm really close. I really just have to put the rebar in, and I'm just about ready at that point. So anyways, let me quit my yakking, and let me get into gear, and let's go get some rebar. Well, unfortunately, it is now the next day. I didn't get any more done yesterday other than setting the grid up for my rebar. My day, more or less, in the best words I can say, got hijacked. It's okay. Things that I needed to do, but didn't want to do what I wanted to do. Now, luckily, I don't have to work today. I got another day or so off. So I'm going to push and I'm going to see about getting this done, getting this all set up and ready to pour today, so I can hopefully get this concrete poured within the next week. So tell you what, let me just quit my yakking. Let's go ahead and I'm going to get everything set up, and I'm going to start laying some rebar. Well, that was a lot of tedious work, but I'm done. That was, like I said, that was an all-day affair, but I got it done. I should have counted how many zip ties I went through, but if someone wants to count it, figure it up, that'd be cool. I'm not. But anyways, let me show you what I got. So I got all the rebar in, and for those who don't know, the purpose of putting the rebar in is because all concrete cracks, and the whole idea of the rebar is it can crack, but it's going to hold it together. Basically, because the steel has tensile strength, while concrete has compression strength. So you mix the two together, they work really well, and it's a really solid piece of material. So, like I said, the rebar's in, and I'll be honest, yes, I use zip ties to tie everything together. No, that is not the appropriate way to do it, because once again, I am not a professional concrete man. But the reality of it is, the closest way I could get the wire ties, or the proper things, the closest place I could get the proper wire ties for this, it was over 30 minutes one way and 30 minutes back. Zip ties were the same price as them, so once it's all encased in concrete, in my opinion, it's not going to matter. So, but once again, I'm not a professional. That's probably not the best way to do it, but that's the way I did it. That's the decision I made, and that's what it is. So now, as you saw, all the cutting and bending of the rebar. So I ended up, and when you saw me bending and cutting rebar, is basically I bent the end of it down so I could drive it in the ground to hold the rebar up off the ground. Because the whole idea is we're going to have concrete, encapsulating everything above it and below it. You want it in the middle. If it was flat on the ground, you're just going to have it on three sides of the rebar, and it's not going to work as intended. So that's why I have it elevated up, and that's why I had stakes in the middle to hold it up. Now, most places, I believe, most people would use wire mesh in this. I have used wire mesh in a slab before. It works. It was kind of a pain in the butt. I kind of like working with rebar a lot better, so that's why I went with rebar. It's easier to walk on, and plus the wire mesh, when you put the concrete down, you actually have to pull, after you screw, as you step off it, you actually have to reach into the wet concrete and pull it up so it's not at the bottom. That's why I like this stuff where it sits up nice and high. So, so that's what I got going on with the rebar. And the last thing you saw me put in were this piece of flat bar with two steel rods on either end. The reason I did that is because this is what I call a screed guide. So it's a piece of 2 inch thick, 2 inch wide flat bar, 1/4 inch thick. I have it on end, and I have it running from one side to the other. So what that's going to do for me is, after you put the concrete down, the first thing you have to do is screed it. And that is probably one of the most important steps of pouring your concrete, is because if the first screed of it is not level, is not how you want it, it's just not going to turn out right. So, and once again, normally professional concrete guys will do what's called a wet screed, where they will actually, where there'll be nothing out here, they will actually trowel out the concrete to the proper level, and then they screed off of that. I tried that once, didn't turn out very well. So unfortunately for an amateur such as myself, when I go to screed the concrete, I need something on both ends of the screed in order to get it nice and level and just the way I want it. So so that's why I have these screed guides set up from one side to the other, just so I can make sure I screed correctly. And the reason I went this way instead of just doing one down the middle is first and foremost, just with my lack of experience, I'll call it, is I don't like to screed any more than 10 feet. There's two people that'll be on this board to screed it, but I don't like to do it any more than 10 feet, just with my lack of experience. So, and although it's 10 feet from there to the middle, the one problem I have is, if you can see it, I got a power line. My power drop is up there, and I have issues with my power company to drop it down and have it guaranteed down. So I'm going to work around it. So when you pour concrete, when you screed it, just to make life easy for yourself and also make it easy for the cement mixer driver, which if you're nice to them, they're more likely to help you out. I haven't had a bad one yet, but I like to do my effort. But I always like to screed in the direction that the cement mixer moves while he pours his concrete out. So basically, this is the truck's going to back in right here. So once again, so I'm working this way. So I really cannot work this way because I can't get the truck over here. So, but anyways, so. But that's what I got. So I got rebar, I got it all spaced up, I got it all tied together, I got my screed guides down, everything is level and sloped the way I want it. I'm going to double check it on pour day just to make sure. And the biggest thing, as you can tell, that I'm going to be fighting come pour day, which is a couple days away, is I got to get these, I got to get the leaves out, because you don't want organic material underneath the concrete when you pour it. So, but that's just what I'm going to have to deal with. So, but I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to call it a day, and I will see you on pour day. Well, that about does it for this episode. If you want to see me pour the concrete, you got to tune in to the next episode. So, but hopefully, if you like the video and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And also, if you did enjoy it, please share it with your friends. So, until next time, I'll see you.